Jaime got me saying the thing about it is a lot, haha. Exactly, you need to practice. The thing about it is the more you do it, the more you'll like it. Hey, now that the recap is back, I might actually respond to some of the daily questions. Please do give us a reason to continue doing it. I wish that I could celebrate that it's Friday. 3 seconds later, I don't even know what day it is anymore. Too funny. Guys, come on, you gotta admit, nobody knows what day it is right now. If my name was Jaime Rivera, I'd say it more often. Thank you, somebody finally admits it. I like it too. That's right, it's that time of the week. I'm Jaime Rivera. This is Pocketnow, and this is the Pocketnow Daily Recap, your comments for this week. You know what? The comments on the Sunday recap were so good that I'm actually going to feature some of them today. Again, we're trying to figure out ways to continue entertaining you as we all stay at home. This is my living room, actually. So let's begin. We had 271 comments, and part of the topic was mainly Samsung Exynos processors and what people really think about them versus Snapdragon. I'm old enough to remember when Exynos processors on Galaxy devices were considered better than their Snapdragon variants. Yes, those were good times, and it was also good competition. That really allows the companies to continue trying to innovate. It's just interesting how much Qualcomm has made leaps after losing that business. Exynos must be stopped for flagship-level smartphones from Samsung. You know, I think that regardless, not just flagships, if you think about it, companies like Huawei have been making crazy improvements with their Kirin lineup, Apple with their A whatever number, and MediaTek as well has been just owning it. And we've seen how, for example, Samsung, which is, I don't know what size compared to other chip makers they are, but come on, they gotta figure this out. Notice what happened to Intel and how AMD is just completely killing them right now. Exynos is like the IRS, you get screwed every year. Alright, fine. I'm not going to say that it's that dramatic, but it could be better. I have the Exynos S20 Plus overheating, lagging when rendering a long video. Alright, I'm not going to try to defend Exynos processors, but you can get any chip with whatever cooling system you throw at it. And if you try to render a video, it is going to heat up, dude. Then on Tuesday, the topic was the OnePlus 8, the fact that the company announced that it's going to have an event. It's being taglined "Lead with Speed," and I asked you, what did the company need to do to actually lead with speed? We had 347 comments. Dear OnePlus, camera. Yes, exactly. Thank you. You know, there comes a point where you're not interested in more speed. You're not navigating the phone all the time or scrolling like crazy. You're taking photos. You do a lot of that with your phone. And for that price, you want that phone to get things right after the Pixel 3a just showed every other mid-ranger how it's done. I prefer lead with price. Yes, that's another important thing, and there was a time when OnePlus would kill it in that department. I feel that there has to be a balance. Not too inexpensive, meaning not so much compromise, but at the same time, if you're going to charge me more, you better give me my money's worth. Everyone is making phones expensive by adding 5G. For most of us, 5G is still a gimmick. Not necessarily a gimmick. I've been using 5G for a bit, and there are a ton of benefits, but truly, the average market is not using it as much. And right now, for example, on T-Mobile, there aren't that much benefits from the low-band 5G for people to be willing to pay more. So I do believe you're right, there has to be a rethought process over this whole change. Remember when OnePlus was an affordable brand? Those were the days. Yes, that's definitely how the company disrupted the market, but you have to remember that back then, they got their camera even worse. Like, a lot of things of that OnePlus 1 and OnePlus 2 weren't really that great. So I'm liking this whole idea of having a lineup that's more premium, better features. They just need to get the camera right. Then on Wednesday, we had our iPad Pro after the buzz, and I asked you, you have the option to buy the 2020 models or the 2018 models, which ones would you buy? We had 478 comments. iPad is a digital notepad while the MacBook does the heavy lifting. I just want to be that rich. Fine, good point. Here's the thing, you don't need to spend so much money. You could use your typical computer, and then you can grab the least expensive iPad right now, which is $370. You can get an Apple Pencil, which in that model is like for $90, and you can get that experience. For me, in the end, my biggest problem is that if I write in a notepad, I have to be carrying another thing in my bag when I travel. So for me, having an iPad that serves more than just being a notepad for me is valuable if you think about, the added benefits. But again, That depends on everybody's needs. These are mine, they don't have to be yours. Unless you're a reviewer, there's absolutely no reason to update to the 2020 iPad Pro if you already have the 2018 Pro. Exactly. This is what we proved in that video. The fact that, the differences are not at all substantial. If anything, consider the fact that there are still the rumors of that mini LED iPad Pro that's coming in the fall. And if you know anything about mini LED on TVs right now and how they're just disrupting the market and how it's allowing for even thinner designs and a better contrast ratio when compared to even not necessarily AMOLED, but yeah, better than the traditional LCD, I'm down for that. I can't wait for it. I'm definitely keeping my 2018 11-inch iPad Pro. I'm just gonna buy the Magic Keyboard in May. Dude, I'm keeping mine. I'm still using it. I love it to death. It's what I'm using to enable this video. It's how I read scripts every day, even if you guys don't necessarily always see it, but it's there on every video that I do, and it continues being valuable to me. I was going to buy an iPad a few weeks ago, and I'm glad I waited. Now that the 2020 model is out, I got the 2018 iPad Pro for even cheaper, LOL. Yes, there were up to $350 off. Discounts were crazy. Guys, if it were my money, I would totally buy the iPad Pro. Again, you don't need a tablet. You could totally live without it, and I would not recommend it as your only computing device. But if you want an iPad, I would totally get that one. Then on Thursday, the topic was the Galaxy Note 20, I guess we're gonna call it. We don't know exactly what the name is going to be, but we've had rumors of a foldable Galaxy Fold 2, I guess, with an S Pen. We're assuming that could be a variant of the Galaxy Note in the future, but I asked you if you had to pick, would you want the foldable or the non-foldable, and we had 360 comments. If Zack Snail from Jerry Rig can scratch a foldable screen, then the S Pen won't have a problem leaving marks either. Here's the thing. If you remember the old days of Pocket PCs where the screens were resistive and we had to use styli, those days were really bad. Like, I remember how my Pocket PCs would age so badly because of the taps of the stylus, and the user interface was designed for it. So yeah, I can't even imagine how that would be now. Even if, the S Pen feels more like a Sharpie, it's not as sharp as, for example, an Apple Pencil. But you never know. I'm all for a standard slab Note, because a foldable Note would be crazy expensive as seen in current foldable devices. I really hope that Samsung experiments, that they give us the flat slab for everybody else, and those people that really want to try out a foldable, if they can be as aggressive as they were with the, I would say aggressive with the Z Flip when compared to what they priced the original Fold for, then maybe. If that Note is foldable, I'm totally down for it. It will be a game changer. Can't wait to see it. Here's the thing. For me, the perfect form factor for a foldable or for a tablet is the iPad mini size. An 8-inch tablet with a stylus that you could tuck out. It's like literally a Kindle. It's that light, and then you can use it whenever you need it with the pen. Now, if you can make that thing a phone too, which you will see that like crazy in places like Taiwan, people using small tablets as phones and also as their tablets, I feel that it would be a game changer, you're right. High-end slab at a reasonable price, and then ultra foldable for the ballers. Agreed. I think that would be probably the best approach. We'll see. And then finally, Friday, we had so many leaks of the iPhone 9 that I really want Apple to just make up their minds, because one of the leaks actually came from Apple. I asked you how many of you are interested in the iPhone 9, and we had 415 comments. Definitely interested in the iPhone 9. Great update from my iPhone 7, which I love. I am not interested in the tablet-sized phones that everyone is releasing. I have an iPad for that. Here's the thing. One of my favorite phones of all time was the iPhone 8. I did not like the iPhone 7 because it was Apple's first experiment with Intel modems, and that went terrible. The battery life was really bad. But the iPhone 8 was great, so imagine the current innovation on that chassis. I think that would be a really good sell. Hey man, we're in the midst of the biggest recession in more than 10 years, so yeah, I'm excited about a new cheap iPhone. You make a really interesting and good point. If anything, this is the time to launch a product like that. People are going to continue needing phones, and I really am skeptical and worried about everything that's going to happen going forward with the economy and everything. But yeah, that would be the right time to launch a phone like this. An affordable iPhone with updated internals? Yes, please. I've been waiting to get it since you first mentioned it months ago. Wish it could launch already. Exactly. I think that this is the right time, and Apple really needs the buzz. Like, seriously, right now, like, tech needs the buzz period. Wow, a 2014 looking iPhone that released in 2020. Actually, that's a design that's a little older than that, but here's the thing, dude. A lot of people really like it. A lot of people want it. And if people really want to continue buying the iPhone SE, I mean, who's to argue with what the market is looking for? That's it for the Pocketnow Daily Recap. Thank you so much for watching. Again, thank you so much as well for staying home. We continue making videos, trying to entertain you as much as possible. Also, if you want your comments to be featured, keep them short, stick to the point, and try to get some thumbs up. It helps us spot them a lot easier. Also, follow us on social media as our extended coverage happens on Instagram, and follow me on my personal handles to see me stay at home with you as well. Please give this video a thumbs up if you like what you saw. I'm Jaime Rivera. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you soon.